Bonjour! Back to chapter 3.1 in your instant grammar review. We're going to cover two big topics in chapter 3.1. The first is the verb être, and then the second is adjective agreement. The verb être, of course, means to be, very important when we're talking about description. We're going to go back to our good old trusty verb house, condo, cage, apartment building. And remember that the forms are as follows. Je suis, tu es, il, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, il et elle sont. So whenever we would describe somebody, you would say something like je suis grand. And use that verb être in the middle. Let's move on to adjective agreement. Over here, we learned big families of adjectives, and one of the primary families would just end in a consonant, like grand. Another example of this is an accented A, and the way that we would make these masculine plural to describe a bunch of guys is we would just add an S, right? And the way that we would describe a girl, that's not a very pretty erase job, we would add E's. And then the way that we would describe a bunch of girls is by adding ES's. So just to summarize, we start off with grand is our masculine, and then we would add an S for plural masculine, an E for feminine, and then an ES for feminine plural. We have a couple other families. We have adjectives that would end in an EUX. There's no change for masculine plural. We would drop that X and add an SE for a feminine. And then, of course, we would just simply add an SES to the feminine plural. Next little family would be an IF ender. And we would just add an S for masculine plurals. Remember, we would drop that F and add a VE, active, and then we would active with an S. Once you can get yourself to the feminine, you can often just find yourself to the feminine plural. Let's see, our last little group would be anything that sort of is born with an E, and then we'll just add S's. We'll do nothing for that feminine form since it already has an E, and then it would just add an S, right, to that form. The last little group are called doublers. This is like beau. Beau changes to beau, changes to belle, changes to belle. Another example of this one, there were just like 5, is roux, to roux, remember in the feminine, rousse, and rousse. So the last concept that I just want to remind you of is that all of that adjective agreement is really important. But you have to remember where that adjective goes, and it always goes after the noun. Une fille sportive. Oops, excuse-moi. After the noun. Des amis. Amusant. After the noun. Voilà. Être and adjective agreement. Fini.